Hello, and welcome back to Let's Get Lit. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Chapter 14 in the Odyssey by Homer. Previous episodes are now on YouTube for your listening pleasure. Are we ready? Awesome. So, Odysseus, disguised as a gross old beggar man, makes his way to the swineherd, and he notices all the improvements that the swineherd has made during his absence. He tells that there are many more pigs now, and how all of the swineherd's men were taking care of the chores. Odysseus found the swineherd outside making shoes. When Odysseus, still disguised, gets to the gates, the dogs go towards Odysseus and try to bite him. The old swineherd gets the dogs away from Odysseus and says he's sorry. He tells Odysseus that he is a swineherd and is patiently awaiting his master to come home. He then invites Odysseus in for bread and wine, and to tell him of his journey. They go inside, and Eumaeus makes a place for Odysseus, a very nice place. And Odysseus tells him that he is a very good man who is thoughtful. Eumaeus tells him that he is a stranger, and by law of Zeus, he has to do all he can for a stranger. Eumaeus then goes on to say that he had a wonderful master, but he had to go leave and fight in Ilium. Eumaeus then kills 2 young pigs, cooks them, and offers them to Odysseus. Eumaeus then tells Odysseus all about his old master, and how now men have come and ravaged his house. Odysseus listens and asks Eumaeus who his master is. Maybe he ran into him in his travels. Eumaeus tells Odysseus that the great and noble Odysseus was his master, and try as the old man might, no one knows about Odysseus' whereabouts. He is dead and gone, and this depresses Eumaeus to think about. He loved Odysseus more than his own parents. He then tells Odysseus that he loved Odysseus very dearly. Odysseus tells Eumaeus that he knows about Odysseus and swears that he will return the same year, the very same season. Odysseus, disguised as the beggar, asks for no clothes or wealth until his prophecy comes true. Eumaeus then asks the old man, who's Odysseus, not to say anything further about Odysseus, but instead to tell him where he came from, how he got here, etc., etc. Odysseus tells Eumaeus almost the same story we've heard from the previous chapters. He just changes a few names and locations around. He also said that he heard Odysseus was coming back very soon. He stayed on the same island as him, but not long enough to see him. Eumaeus tells him that though his story is interesting, he still doesn't believe him about Odysseus. He says that Odysseus is lost at sea somewhere or has perished. The last he heard of Odysseus, he was with Idomeneus fixing his ship and was due to return very soon. But that was years ago. Odysseus and Eumaeus make a bet about Odysseus' return. They then talk for a while, and Eumaeus' men come back. They cook one of the best pigs and make their offerings to the gods. Odysseus says that Zeus should look highly upon Eumaeus for his treatment of an old stranger. They eat and drink, and Odysseus sees if he can get one of them to let him use their cloaks for the night. Odysseus tells everyone a story about him and how he and Odysseus were best friends and soldiers together, and that Odysseus shared his cloak with him one time. Eumaeus makes Odysseus a bed for the night and gives him his cloak to sleep with. Odysseus then starts to fall asleep, and Eumaeus goes out to watch over the pigs at night. This is the end of Chapter 14. I hope you're enjoying the series and look forward to future episodes. Have a good night, everyone, and as always, stay lit.